Hello there, me again. I'm Tim and this is How to Murder Feet, Southwest Coast Path, week 8, day like 10 possibly, or 11. It's getting rather confusing. So here I am at St Adlam's Head. It's that big old chapel thing we saw last time, which is about 4 days ago by my reckoning, but if you're binge watching this on YouTube it's probably less than 5 minutes. So it is Thursday the 25th of November. It's 10:15 in the morning, AM in the morning, and it's, look at that sky. The conditions are basically the same as they were on Monday, which is like an utterly clear crystal blue sky, no sign of any kind of clouds really, apart from a few on the far horizon. The wind is actually blowing towards those, so they're not coming to get me. So relatively strong and brisk wind coming from the north. You might be able to hear that. It's actually, I was listening back to some of these, and this fluffy microphone cover is actually quite effective. But it has limits, so you know I'm not going to push it. Yeah. And today, I don't want to get the map out because it will disappear and end up in France. Today we're basically going from St Adlam's Head near Matravers, which is a village just over there. You can just see it. I've just come through there. We're going along the coast, obviously, because that's my kind of my bag, really. Down to Anvil Point Lighthouse, which you can just see in the distance. Then round to Delston Country Park, which is a corner. At which point we'll swing round north for the home straight, the final gallop. We're going to come down off of Delston Country Park into the picturesque seaside town of Swanage, and that'll be the end of my day today. Because, you know, winter, short days, etc. Although, I did manage to find a bus. I basically parked the car in Swanage today and got a bus some of the way here. I mean, you know, I was lucky to get a bus at all, to be honest, but it put me 3 miles away. The bus stop was 3 miles away from here, so I've had a bit of a warm-up already. It's 10 o'clock. But now I don't have to walk back again, which is nice. This is a one-way trip back to the car. So that's splendid. I didn't really enjoy walking back to Kimmeridge last time. I didn't bother filming it for you because you'd already seen it all before, and so had I, which made it a bit dull. Although I tell you what, on the way back into Kimmeridge about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I think, I started to hear these enormous thumping booms coming, you know, echoing through. It's like the sort of bass push hits you in the sort of diaphragm type of boom. And yeah, it was definitely some kind of artillery piece, some sort of mounted gun or tank at the Lulworth range. They were definitely firing. Red flags, do not cross. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot about the countryside I don't respect, but active firing range signs are one of them. That's Houndstoot we did last time. Twice I did. You did it once coming down. It was a bastard going up, I can tell you. Anyway, we're going this way today. This is the big chapel, little chapel thing. That's the Coast Watch place. That's the radar memorial monument thing last time. There's probably a plaque next to it. We'll have a quick look in a minute. And yeah, we're basically zooming along there. I think it's relatively easy going, although there'll be a few up and downs, as there always is, but pretty much relatively easy going all the way into Swanage, which itself is only probably about 6 miles away, really. So, you know, another short day. I mean, if I were following the Southwest Coast Path Association's website's itinerary, which I had been doing up until it all went a bit wrong at Seaton and I got soggy, I basically would have spent my last night somewhere hereabouts, camped out somewhere in this region, probably this very spot around here, around the back of this tent or this chapel or something. I don't know, I'd have found somewhere surreptitious, I often do. And then it would have been up and away, and according to that website, this, starting from here, is the last day. I would basically end up at Southaven Point, the Poole Harbour chain ferry, today. But of course the days are too short for that really, and I've taken time getting here and I want to take time getting home as well. It gets dark early, about 4:10, something like that today, 4:10 in the afternoon. So I don't really want to push on, although in theory I could conceivably do it today. I don't want to rush it and ruin make a really miserable last day. So today is my penultimate day, the last but one day of my Southwest Coast Path Challenge type thing. I say challenge, it's walking a path. I don't even have a bucket, I'm not collecting coins for charity on the way or anything. But yes, the culmination of 4 years of half-assed bucket listery is in sight. It is nigh. And I will actually be coming back here on Sunday. So it's Thursday today. Sunday I'm planning on coming back here. Saturday there are storm force Met Office weather warning type horrific gales and heavy rain and possibly snow and sleet. But then Sunday is apparently going to be fine. So we'll see, we'll give it a go. But I'm anticipating the Sunday stretch running from Swanage up to the actual ferry itself. It is only about another sort of 6 or 7 miles and relatively easy going. One hill that I know of, and then a big bit of beach trudging, and then done. So yeah, this week, very soon it'll all be over. The end is nigh. I thought I'd feel more excited, more euphoric, more narratively constructed toward a grand finale, but real life isn't like that. I feel it's just like a hike, really. Anyway, probably analyse my feelings in some tedious depth on Sunday. Today I'm just going to do a bit of a light hiking up to the end and then round to Swanage, which is a little seaside town I visit quite a lot, actually. Knew my way around there, knew how to get there, knew where the parking was. Very reasonable parking, £1 all day, because it's between 1st of November and the 31st of March, £1 parking all day, not like 10 quid at Lulworth Cove. So yeah, it's highly variable, the parking situation. I'm discovering now I'm doing it the car and day hike way. Right, so let's crack on. This is a glorious day. It is quite chilly though. I mean, it's like, I don't know, about 5 or 6 degrees, but there's a fairly brisk northern wind, which is bringing the feels like temperature down to about 1 or 2. So I've got all the gear, I've got the extra layers on as well. Extra trousers under the actual trousers. Under trousers and over trousers, that's the way. But this is hiking in November for you. This is the reality of it. It suddenly is going towards winter temperatures. I think I was just really lucky to get as many nice, calm, tolerable October days. You know, and even early November it was quite mild, some of the other stuff I was doing back there. But now, yeah, the season's coming on properly. But that's okay, I'm equipped, I'm sorted, I know what I'm doing. And it's relatively straightforward today. You can see the lighthouse from there, and it's only about another mile round to the corner. And look at that! Here's the thing. I could see it last time, but I didn't want to trouble you with it. But look, here it is again today. Now, if I can hold that steady in this wind, that sort of hazy rising hill there—that's the Isle of Wight, which is a new vista, a new thing, a new visual pleasure. Quite long. We're on the sort of looking at the southwest sort of flank of it, which is a great long sweep that runs up to the Needles, which you can't see. You will be able to see the Needles today. I'll show you those if it keeps like this. The weather, you'll see some quite distinctive white stacks there. Anyway, enough gabbing on. Let's get going. Here we go. Here's some information. Don't want to read all that out. Basically, it commemorates Dr. W.H. Bill Penny, CBCE, radar pioneer, 1917 to 2017. Interesting. I thought this plaque's been here before that. Maybe this little plaque commemorates him, but I'm pretty sure I've seen this sculpture before 2017. Here we go. This memorial commemorates the radar research carried out at Worth Matravers from 1940 to 1942, which was crucial to the winning of the war and the birth of modern telecommunications. There you go. Probably expanding on the work that Marconi did, which we saw. We saw the Marconi plaque and thing, didn't we? Who were down by the Lizard. So yeah, a double radar whammy. Lots of concrete-y blocks all around here, actually. And this is quite a stepped sort of cliff arrangement. Hey, that stack's still there. Oh, wow. Okay, a bit of background then, context. So just the other side of that stack is a drop of about, I'd say about 40 metres down to a collection of scree and rubble. I'm not going to bother going right down there because I just want to crack on today. And we'll basically abseil and do rock climbing along that stretch. And that standing stack was there then. And this would have been a good 20 years ago at least. And it's still there. It's remarkable. It always looked precarious to me. We never tied a rope around it or anything. That would have been madness. There's all sorts of very large blocks and secure anchoring points all along this section of the top here that we'd use. Yeah, so an old pier over the edge. Yeah, this is going back to, well, not childhood so much. I mean, you know, I was already driving a car and able to come up here. Yeah, some of this stuff. Because it's actually not that steep on this inner side of it all. There's a lot of heap piled up against the base of it. So it provides a number of good usable routes that weren't too difficult, not too technical, because we were never really that good at rock climbing, but excellent place for rock climbing, a bit like Portland. We saw all those rock climbers over on Portland, which is still in view, about there along that section. But this is where we would come for preference. Nice out of the way spot, reasonable parking. Actually, you're not allowed to park there anymore. You used to be able to just park up there. I mean, those vehicles are probably with the Coast Watch people, but you have to park way back inland and walk about 2 miles now. Yeah. Windspit, right, that's our next mark. Windspit Quarry, 1.5, that way. Let's get on with it. Loving memory of Dan Lee, 29th October 1982, 3rd of July 2008. Love you so. Well, I'll park there in commemoration. Actually, not before I've taken some photos and things, because look, this is Windspit Quarry. I'm on a little cliff top looking over the thing, quite far down. And yeah, it's the old leftover ruined buildings and so on. This would have been a working quarry. There are actually caves cut underneath there. I've been down there before. See if I find a way down in a minute, but I need to be across on the other side as well eventually. But yeah, it's a bit far out to have featured in any episodes of Doctor Who, I think, but certainly worthy of a low sky overlay filter tint and the nomenclature of Andraxos 57 mining colony. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to sit down for a bit. I was ruminating on the nature of progress, what it means, how it relates to me on the path and so on. And I seem to remember, I was thinking, you know, how long it's taken me to get this far. I mean, I'm basically a day and a bit away from the end, probably a day away really if I pushed, but it's taken me about 4 months, it's taken me about 4 years and probably 3 months or so. Started in September 2017, I believe. It's now November 2021. I would have finished May this year if it weren't for COVID. But them's the breaks. And you know, I think it all still counts, it all still qualifies. Nobody told me I had to do it in a certain deadline. I set myself the deadline of before my 50th birthday, but I think that's probably fine. Still got 4 years in hand for that. But I remember reading somewhere that I had to actually check this. I had to go use my phone and get some internet signal, which is actually quite good here, to look it up and just to verify I hadn't made it up. But yeah, the record time for completing the Southwest Coast Path is 10 days, 15 hours and some minutes and seconds. Some chap in 2016, apparently, and Southwest Coast Path website's got record of it all. And that's just mad, 10 days. I was trying to work it all out as I was walking along, doing the maths in my head, and you would need to, basically, well, obviously 640 miles in 10 days and a bit is obviously 64 miles and a bit. We'll call it 60 miles a day and some change. 60 miles a day. Now you would, 60 miles a day. And let's assume you're doing it in summer, because you've actually got quite short days at the moment. So summer's probably, you might get 10 hours of hiking, walking in a day. So that's about 6 miles an hour. Roughly. Now, when I was doing the Couch to 5k not so long ago, and which I need to do again probably, I have to keep doing it. The body forgets very easily. But at the end of that, the culmination of the Couch to 5k is you being able to run for half an hour basically, and cover about 5 kilometres, which does work out at about 6 miles an hour. Now, that's fine if you're running around the pavements on the estate where I live, or used to live, or around your local park or whatever, but 6 miles an hour along this stuff, and during periods of dusk and dawn, very low light, there's rocks, I mean, this is actually quite a smooth and well-maintained bit, and it's still got stuff that can quite happily break your ankle if you hit it wrong. Slightly slippery stone, slightly damp. You'd have to be doing it in summer, because that's the only way you're going to get 10 hours a day of running time in, which means there's going to be about 4 hours of the day during the middle of the day where it's going to be about 30 degrees. And then, you know, this is a flat bit here. There's a lot of steps. Most of those steps are the wrong height as well. You have to really hoist your thigh and, you know, haul yourself up each step. A lot of the steps are tilted as well, backwards and forwards, which doesn't help either. I mean, that's mad. I don't doubt that the guy did it. I mean, well done, well played. Fair play and all that, but my God, 6 miles an hour along this constantly for 10 days. I mean, you're not bringing a camping kit with that kind of schedule. That's That's definitely support crew, that. You've probably got a mate with a Jeep or a Land Rover or something that's just, you know, moving from car park to car park, handing out water as you pass. But that's mad. 10 days. I mean, at times when I was doing this properly with the backpack and doing whole weeks, I was managing to hit the 40-day itinerary that they have on the website. But in general, they recommend the 52-day itinerary, which gives you time to stop and look at stuff. But yeah, I can't imagine doing it essentially 4 times faster than my most aggressive pace on this on this path. And I can't, it blows my mind. But I know, that's one end of the spectrum. I've taken 4 years. Many people take much longer. They'll, you know, just do a weekend here or there, but they'll get there, they'll do the whole thing. No less valid. It's not about speed, there's not records. Well, there are records, but that's a different kind of category, I suppose. I think as long as if you've set out to do there I am, gobbing off to the camera, and I almost break my ankle tripping off this pit here. Bloody hell. So yeah. So what is progress? What is achievement? What counts? What ticks the box? What records do you need to break? I don't know. I think you set your own, really, don't you? Speaking of stairs, look, I think I've seen where we're going up on the other side. Yep, it looks familiar. That's the kind of thing I imagine running at 6 miles an hour up that. Mad, but well played. Don't think I'm going to be breaking any kind of records on my trip. I should be breaking my personal record, I suppose. I should be doing it faster than I've ever done it before, which at the end of the day is all that counts. Yeah, right, let's press on. See if I can see some of those caves actually before we press on out of here, because I've got some time in hand today. It's not quite such a frantic schedule, the sun and everything, because I don't have to do it all in reverse at the end of the day, which is nice. Right, let's try and get down there without just jumping. There we go, this is worth coming down. Look at this. It's a bit intimidating. It's like a small underground car park. Left a few struts to hold things up, but not an awful lot holding the ceiling in place. If that's been cemented recently or anything. It's all been sort of hacked out, man-made chiselling. Also particularly useful strata of workable rock. Don't know what holds it up. It's huge. All hacked away on the bottom and the top. Just big blocks taken out to railways or whatever, city. Proper quarrying. And yeah, look at that. Yeah, I'm going to go out from here. Or something drops out of the ceiling. The thing. See, I used to go caving a fair bit, but never had much fear of caves. But proper limestone caves, Cheddar Gorge, Mendips, that sort of area. And Burrington Combe, I think, Goat Church Cavern in particular, there was a good one in the north of the Mendips. But that's essentially made of tiny bits of calcium carbonate cemented by river deposition over millions of years. It's really solid stuff. Whereas this, just hacked out by a bunch of profiteering Victorians with very little thought for structural integrity of the ages. I mean, you can see chunks on the floor, they've come from the ceiling. Not sure I want to hang around in here too much longer. Yeah, man-made caves always make you nervous. Natural caverns, not so much. Up and on the way again. So I think over there, I think that might be Tilley Whim Cave, or caves. Big sort of arch in the rock, dark inside. Might be natural. I don't think anyone quarries stone directly into the sea from underneath. I think that's a bit mad. Yeah. Yeah, up and away. I think somewhere called Seacombe next. I don't know. No, I had no idea. This is the thing. Let's say I know St Adlan's Head, been there a lot. Know Swanage, been there a lot. Been to Tilley Whim Lighthouse once or twice. Never been between them. They've always been point destinations, not a journey. So they're quite enthusiastic about their signage this close to the end. Sort of peters off as you go along, in my experience. But It's all everywhere. Look, coast path. You're on the coast path. Yeah, I know. Been there, done that. I don't know how many people do pool to Minehead. I think that's generally considered to be the contrary way to do it. I think Minehead to pool is traditional, but again, it doesn't matter which way you do it. If you do the mileage, it all counts. I think I'd rather do it Minehead to pool though, because all the big hills and climbing are in the north. This is relatively mild, the south coast. I say relatively. Still catches you out all over the place. But yeah, all the big stuff's definitely on the north coast of Devon, and to some extent Cornwall. And Heartland Point. So it feels like you're just coming downhill the whole way in the grand scheme of things. If you go from Minehead. Right, let's keep going. Some sort of quarry again up ahead. A lot of that around here. So this is Seacombe. A combe that leads to the sea, I suppose. Something of a natural valley carved by river over a long time. Don't know where the river's gone. Underground, I expect. Well, you can see a sort of faint run here, but that probably would have been where an actual riverbed would have been, but hasn't seen water in a long time. Has it gone underground? Maybe. All I know is this is prime ambush country. Keep expecting to see riders cresting the ridgeline. I haven't got any wagons to form into a circle. So yeah, I'll have to just chance it, see if I can get to the end and up. There's probably some quarrying going on. Oh, there's a lot of quarrying going on here. There's quite a few working quarries around here actually. If you look at this region, you find Swanage on Google Maps and go satellite view and then just pan along the coast to the west. And you'll see it's like, going inland a mile or two, quite a few open, I want to use the word artisanal quarry, but it's probably not the best description. I watched a documentary last night about where Tesla's cobalt comes from, and apparently it all comes from Congo, and they mine it in artisanal mines, which is a euphemism for about 5,000 local blokes in t-shirts with chisels all hacking away in the same big pit. Makes you think about the electric car revolution in a different way. But yes, I suspect more building stone come from around here. I mean, like I say, it still does come from around here in parts, but this would have been an old abandoned quarry, I suppose. Well, abandoned now. Would have been working back then. I don't know. He picked the wrong archaeologist for this field trip, frankly. But yes, there's the sort of stone that I'm more primarily interested in. A stone with a small yellow arrow on it and a black acorn. What do we got? Seacombe, yep. Dancing ledge, 1 mile. Oh yeah, I just can't control my feet, which is going to be a problem on a cliff edge. I mean, dancing ledge, that just, the very name implies catastrophe. 1 mile, we'll go and find out. Oh, fine example of rural local handicrafts there. Good dry stone walling. All fit together like a jigsaw. Quite long too. I don't see that so much. Obviously much easier just to drive in some stakes and run some barbed wire along. Mind you, this is so this has come sloping down now and sort of twisted and pushed against this pillar so hard that it's now pushed against this one, which has now warped the gate in its frame so hard that I couldn't. Did I drop the phone? Oh no, phone's still working. As I was saying, yeah, it's warped the gate in its post so much that I couldn't actually open this and I had to climb over the fence. So there you go. Perhaps the new ways are better. Not quite as much lateral force on nearby fences. A bench, but I'm actually feeling quite chipper, so I'm going to keep moving. Plus, it's got that sort of brisk, don't sit around on cold stone for too long feel to it today. So I'm just going to knock it back a notch and stroll, but keep moving. Keep the warmth moving in the legs, quite important. Don't get all cold and seize up. I mean, even on hot summer days, if I sit down for more than like about 20 minutes, my legs seize up and I have real trouble getting going again. It's really stiff. So I find it easier just to keep walking right to the end of the day, which is probably quite self-destructive. That's weird. The back of that hill's quite extravagantly terraced. Can't imagine how that can occur naturally. maybe quarrying. Maybe they just took whole strips of it off the side of that hill first, then it's grassed over since. Obviously going to be easier to get the stones that are right near the surface than dig a massive great shaft or whatever. I don't think there was ever any mineral wealth around here. I'm not aware of any history of mining around here. I think it's all just stone, all just quarry stuff. Right, on to Dancing Ledge, which I'm fascinated by now, just the basic concept of it. I imagine it's probably a place where the fair folk come out on Midsummer's Day and dance out into the air, and then young love-struck fools with low morals from the nearby villages are taught a salutary lesson by plummeting to their death trying to follow them, that kind of thing. It all feels a bit Hans Christian Andersen. Right. What am I looking at down there now? A lot of red things. Oh God, it's people. What are they doing? Milling about. That doesn't look like rock climbers to me. I wonder, is this some sort of school trip type thing? They will go to like an activity centre for a week in the middle of nowhere and with no phone reception, and then have to study leaves and things. Maybe so. Maybe they're all like poking around looking for fossils. Oh, I don't know, actually there's someone with a hat on. They're top roping something? Could be. Could be some climbing. So is this the Dancing Ledge? Yeah. Not much boogie going on down there. Get down there and throw down a dance challenge. Get all John Travolta on their ass. Why are none of you dancing? Can't you see the sign? Yeah. Anyway, I don't like people, so I'm going to carry on. In for a rude shock when I get to Swanage. I'm not really. Swanage is quite busy, even this time of year. It's one of those places you can go all year round and just like shuffle along the seafront a bit and look at the sea and then get back in the car. Buy an ironic ice cream in December, that sort of thing. Looking forward to it myself. Here's a sign. What's this one say? Seacombe. No, I've done that one. Not interested. There's a sign over there. Durlston, 2 3/4. That's important because that marks the end of my eastward travel for the entire thing. Once I hit Durlston, we turn north and that's it. There we go, Dancing Ledge. Blame it on the boogie. Yes, not seeing much dancing going on down there, but it is like, you know, well, 11:44 on a school day Thursday. It's not holiday or anything, so that looks to me like a school trip of some sort. Who knows? God, why am I doing the groaning thing? I've done virtually no effort at all today. I think it's just become reflexive. Just make that noise whenever I stop walking. Right, Durlston next then. Well, probably a lighthouse before then. I do like a lighthouse. I often thought I wanted to be a lighthouse keeper until I realised there was no such job anymore. Damn shame. A lot of people on the trail today, which I totally don't mind and is fine. About 20 or 30 coming the other way in the last couple of hours, little groups, ones and twos. I don't mean there's like a coach trip or anything, it's just lots of people out. I mean, it is a lovely day for it, certainly. I just thought more people would be at work or stuff. Still, interesting thing here. I have no idea what it's for. Well, I have an idea. So there's a big like mast with a strip on it, and another one up the hill with also with a strip on it. And presumably, if you're out at sea and you stand and you're on this line here, those two strips will probably line up, denoting that you're, I don't know what, crossing a line of latitude, longitude. Longitude's the up and downy ones, isn't it? I don't know. A ladder up the side. Some piece of wartime paraphernalia. I don't know. Seems more recent, modern. Who knows what it means? I mean, it would probably be very easy to find out if I could be bothered. It's basically what I'm saying. Good. There's a lighthouse. Thought we'd be there by now. Some clattering from over there. JCB or something working over the hill. There are sort of quarries along the tops of this hills, yeah. Small ones. That's probably it. I can't see Portland anymore. I think we've gone around St Adlam's Head too far, but I think if we swing back round to the end, we'll probably get another look at it. What time is it? 12:08. Yeah. Did bring some packets of peanuts, but I'm anticipating finishing up at about 2 or 3 in a large-sized town, so don't think I need to stop for lunch just yet. As ever, had quite a lot in the car on the way down. Right, let's keep at it. Here we go. One lighthouse as promised. Anvil Point, I believe. Also known as the Tilley Whim lighthouse as well. Probably after the cave that we're more or less on top of at this point, I expect. Yeah. Just a little one. I don't think they have to be tall in and of themselves. I think they just have to be high above the sea level, which this cliffside seems to provide. Oh, it's got a cover on it. Not in use. I don't know, maybe they cover it when it's sunny or daytime. I think that round structure on the end is the foghorn housing. And again, not misty today, so that's good, considering the path looks like it goes right in front of it. I get startled when cars drive past puddles and I'm on the pavement, you know. Yeah. Yeah, and there's probably only like 8 lighthouse keepers in the country now, and they all work shifts in the same Swindon data centre. Just a massive display board full of green lights, and they have to phone an engineer if one of them goes red. No romance anymore. Dalston Half. Oh, coming up on the turn. A big bend at the end. Oh, there we go. This is a path. Quite a rugged one. I might have to put the phone away actually. This looks like a bit of an ankle breaker. But yeah, making progress. I'm pleased. Just having a nice day. Oh look, is that the Needles? Are we there yet? Yeah, we are, I think. There we go. Needles. Talking of lighthouses, I think the Needles is more of a famous lighthouse than this one. Although I'm not sure you can really resolve it from here. It's out there somewhere. That's the home of the British space programme when we had one. Did like very small rocket tests there until we just gave up and let the Americans sort it all out. Yeah. Clicky bracken. Right, yeah, let's descend this nightmare. And voila. Same view from the other side after having dropped and climbed. There's 2 more of those. Which is interesting. Again, aligned in such a way that they will cover each other when you hit a certain line out in the sea. And because there's 2 of them a certain distance apart, you've now got the capacity to measure speed. Very peculiar. Time here, time at the next one, speed. Yeah, odd. This has all become a bit more garden and park-like. I think this must be Dalston Country Park. Up to the end there. Big wall there. Oh, a cave. Don't want you in there. There's a camera on a pole there as well, just to make sure. Some facts. Press pause for information. Tilley Whim caves are actually old limestone quarries. Limestone! Oh, I knew it. Which mainly worked during the 18th century. Thick seam of freestone, a valuable type of Portland limestone. There you go. Yeah. They were open until 1976 when serious rockfalls made them unsafe. No, they're closed. Fair enough. PC gone mad, isn't it? Right, so follow this nicely maintained and walled trail around the corner. I think there was something about a coffee shop, but I don't know if I'm going to stop because Swanage is quite near. So I might just keep at it. Well, that's a pain in the arse. Just reviewed some of my footage and realised that everything since the big stone ball at Daleston Country Park I've had a dead microphone for. That's really annoying because this one's lasted me a really long time. Well, that one did. Luckily I bring a spare with me, so here I am on the backup. Yes, 2:10 and I'm at the Stone Quay at Swanage thing. This is basically as far as I go today. That's a shame. I could tell you about some of the... I'll have to... I don't know, do I bother going back and re-recording those? I probably won't bother. I'll just leave you to contemplate the silent imagery. Me basically rattling on and comparing that big stone ball to Raiders of the Lost Ark and threatening to push it down the mountain and that kind of thing. Yes, and the cool Italian teen church thing and the nice bits of wooded play area that we saw on the way back as well. Yeah. You know, I'm so annoyed that I'm actually talking to camera and there are people walking past me and I just don't care. So yeah, I've learned something valuable from this experience. Yeah, so anyway, I have made it to the end for today. So that over there is next time, which I think is Sunday the plan is at the moment. So that's about 3 days away. Or possibly only 5 minutes away if you're binge watching the entire series. If you have been binge watching the entire series in one go, you'll not want to miss the next episode because the next one over that hill is the end. I've finally finished. So that's going to be, yeah, get some celebratory drinks and snacks and things ready ahead of time for that one, and I'll try and bring something similar. Might bring a party popper or one of those like horn things with the ribbon, yeah. Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. I've been working at this for over 4 years. And it all culminates over there next time. So get ready for that. I'm going to go and find my car and then a coffee, probably in that order because it's quite cold out here. And I'll see you next time. Looking forward to it.